Welcome back to the creamiest of the cream spots. I'm your co-host, the delicious Nicolicious.
And I'm Rob Dog. Hi, everybody.
It really just sets a negative tone for the show anytime one of us has to fight with our spouses before we record this fucking thing.
Yeah.
I was down here in the laundry room with my wife. We were picking some stuff up, and she was directing me to do things. And I had to go to the bathroom, and I knew if I went to the bathroom, she'd accuse me of taking an extended break. So,
Like to take a shit?
No, just to pee. But
Okay.
I knew as soon as I went to the bathroom, she was going to start fucking yelling at me.
I always play the shit card whenever we're cleaning.
I do too, but I think she's on to me.
30 minutes later, I'll show up. She's like, no help to you. I fucking got everything done already.
I'm sorry, I was pooping.
Like, nature called, babe. I can't help it.
Well, I did what every man would do, and she looked over and I was pissing inside the washing machine. And I was just going to ask you if that's something normal or if that's something that's a little weird for you, or
A little weird.
Have you don't ever piss in the washing machine?
No, I've pissed in a sump pump before.
Have you ever pissed inside of another human before?
No, I have not.
Boy, you want to talk about some pressure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you've ever pissed inside of a washing machine, write us an email, brohiopodcast@gmail.com. Let us know if that's something you do on the reg.
Yeah, this is the no judgment zone.
My cousin was helping me move some stuff the other night, and he used to live in the attic where I used to live at my parents' house. But he's a generation before me. He's 40, 41.
Okay.
I'm 32, so 10-year difference. And
Right.
We were at my parents' house taking in a refrigerator into their house, and he looked up at that top window, and he said, "Man, I've taken some pisses out of that window before." And I was just like, "Yeah, man, I'm right there with you." And that was the pee spot. You guys are listening to the cream spot. That was the pee spot. I'm definitely pissing out that window.
I could see that.
Yeah, and I know we had one friend we used to hang out with. He's really fucking weird now, but he would just pull it out and just start pissing in his bedroom wherever he was at. And he would spit loogies on the ceiling.
Yeah, fucking weirdo, dude.
Man, what a soldier. Just so much bravery right there.
I couldn't do it.
I don't know. I don't like pee unless I'm peeing in the washing machine.
That's true.
Turn that spin cycle on real hard and just let it all go.
Yeah.
We have some new Patreon subscribers, Rob. Tell them about that.
Sierra, thank you.
Sarah Martin, thank you, Sarah, for your Patreon pledge, Sarah M.
Justin Jacobs, thank you.
I'm going to mess this one up. Christopher.
You mess up the easy part.
My bad.
Christopher
Bardot. Christopher, you and I have been drinking together for as long as I can remember. Thank you, Christopher.
Next we got Massachusetts Mike. Thank you.
And I would like to remind everybody, if you go to your podcast player to the settings and set this podcast to listen at 0.75% speed. So you want to slow it down a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
We sound like we are absolutely inebriated. And it is a truly, it will make this podcast a lot more enjoyable for you if you listen to us at a reduced speed.
Yeah, that was somebody that wrote us a while back and told us that.
We sound like we're slobbered drunk, or we are just totally injected a whole entire 8-ball of marijuana. Either way.
Imagine if we were really drunk what we would sound like.
We've been drunk a few times.
Yeah.
And usually those episodes turn out really well.
Right.
People,
I think so.
Man, you rocked that shit. I'm like, yeah, I was drunk. I don't drink that much, so when I get drunk, it's really, the panties really come off. Next up, we got, did you do the next one? Massachusetts?
Yeah, I did that.
Okay. Abby, what's that say? Big Dick? Abby Big Diggy? Abby Big Dick Sergeant. Abby, thank you so much for your patron pledge.
And for your big dick. Next, we got Courtney Wilson. Thank you.
Ivan Anaya.
Hey, there you go.
That's a really sweet last name. I like that.
Alicia F.
Thank you, Alicia. And our firefighting friend, Ava Lucia Schock.
Thank you.
She's very active on the Facebook's pages. We are indebted to our public servants that listen to this show. Thank all of you guys for everything you do. But we have, speaking of, I got this next article from, what is it? Blue Lives Matter, I think. No, Defense Maven. Okay. It's a fun article. But first, this episode is brought to you by our official sticker sponsor, stickertheories.com. Use the promo code, all caps, Brohio, they've got some really fine stickers. They will make whatever fucking sticker you want. So whatever you need stickers for, you send them to the design, they'll make it for you.
I want to get one that looks just like my nipples so I can put them on my nipples.
So the guys get a suck on it, they're like, oh, this came off. Are you okay, bro? Yeah, everyone that sucks my nipples has that happen to them.
Maybe have a bigger flesh-colored one underneath it so then it looks like my nipple just came off completely.
Suck my tit. I wish I was born with no nipples.
They know they serve no purpose.
Two things I wish I was born with. No nipples, and I wish God would have disregarded this flat spot when he made me.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
I feel you there.
But I'm really excited about the potential, just thinking about not having nipples. I think that, why are there nipples on a male? I've never figured that out in all of my scientific
There has to
researches.
be a reason.
Why do males have nipples?
I don't know.
Doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
It doesn't make sense at all.
I've tried for days to get milk out of these things, and it ain't happening.
Have you ever climaxed using just your nipples?
No, I have not.
God, that was a bad day for me and the cat. I'll tell you what, dude. I got there, but it was miserable. We had another package sent to us this week from Anointed AK. And I'm talking about AK, not as in the scary gun. I'm talking about Alaska. This gentleman has a beard oil company. He does... He's got beard rescue products, bath and body stuff. He's got all kinds of awesome stuff. Oh, yeah. He sent us one. I shit you not, dude. It's called, what is it? Dude Bro. And it's not what you think it is. You would think it'd be some schmegma from Rob and I, but no, it's a Mountain Dew themed beard oil. And this stuff smells just like Mountain Dew.
It's DEWD.
Imagine dousing yourself in Mountain Dew beard oil. How many chicks you could just completely lay out at the trailer park?
Oh, yeah, man.
It would be like fishing for fat chicks in a trailer park. This is exactly what it would be like.
It's like a incel...
Yeah. I game and I got Mountain Dew beard oil. So go to Anointed, ANOINTED, AK.com. He's got all kinds of stuff on there. No kickback for us, no promo codes. He just said, here, guys, try my stuff, see if you like it. And when you do that, you send us something that you make or manufacture or something you're into. We'll plug on the show. So if you want to send us whatever you got, whatever you're working on, let us plug it for free. We have a P.O. Box. It's P.O. Box 672, Vandalia, Ohio, 45377. It is right behind a Wendy's. So do know that every time you send something to our P.O. Box, I stop and I get a 4 for 4. Junior bacon.
You're contributing to this.
4 spicy nugs with some spicy sriracha and a natural lemonade. And if Wendy's, Dave Thomas, if you're listening, hopefully you can sponsor the show sometimes. That'd be great. That would be really super cool.
Even if just for a Frosty, I'm fine with that.
They got that thing you can pay $1 and get free Frosties for a year. It's a fundraiser they do every year. Mm-hmm. You just pay $1 and you get a little keychain. You can get free Frosty for a year.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Sometimes to throw the dogs off from the peanut butter, I'll use the Frosty as a little treat for them.
Hell yeah.
Not as like anything besides that, because that would be completely disgusting if anyone ever used peanut butter for something nasty.
Yeah. That'd just be wrong.
Okay. This is coming from Florida, and if you're not familiar with Florida,
here we go.
Everyone in Florida
fucking crazy
has high-functioning autism. A man who was caught stuffing pounds of meat into his pants at a Volusia? Is that how you spell it? Is that how you say it? Volusia?
Looks right.
Volusia. I don't know. County grocery store, stripped naked after he was caught and then got tased in the genitals.
Yeah.
And we've got the video.
Video below.
The incident began on Valentine's Day, because what other day would you cram meat in your underwear other than Valentine's Day? When another shopper saw 28-year-old Stephen Short stuffing ribeye steaks, he was going for the expensive stuff.
Good for him.
Into his pants at the Save-A-Lot on Woodland Boulevard, WKMG reported. D-Land police said the other shopper alerted the... What a fucking narc, man. The other shopper alerted the manager, and together they confronted Short. Oh, my God. Don't be that guy. Arrest records showed that the manager told police he ordered the man to return the meat he had hidden in his pants, but Short refused. So the manager and Good Samaritan customer tackled Short to the ground over the ribeyes. Citizen justice right there. No, you're not going to do this to me again. You come in here and steal all the fucking time. This is what the manager said. You steal all the time. You're not getting away this time, the manager yelled at Short. They held Short to the ground while they waited for police, so he shimmied out of his pants to escape. The arrest affidavit said police had just arrived at the grocery store entrance when Short came running out naked.
Yeah.
Got my balls a flapping, butt smack whacking. Body cam video showed officers ordered Short to stop and get on the ground, but he ignored commands and tried to flee. So an officer deployed a taser, and struck him in the abdomen and the genitals. Body cam video showed Short continuing to struggle with officers on the ground after he had been tased.
Man.
Then the video captured Short wailing in pain as he waited handcuffed for an ambulance to arrive. The affidavit said Short claimed he didn't remember stealing anything from Save-A-Lot.
Fucked up, man.
But I don't know where it's at in the video, but this motherfucker had pudding in his pants, too. He shoves meat and pudding in his pants, and it's not in the article. I don't know why.
You sure he just didn't shit?
Yeah, I've got some pudding in my underwear.
You get a taser prong in your balls, I'd shit too.
You like pudding? Oh, yeah, I love it. How about putting my dick in your mouth? About that pudding right there. Let's see what old Stefan Short has to say about all of this.
Get out on the fucking ground! Get out! Taser deployed. Oh, shit!
Yeah, he's not having a good time.
Give me your other hand.
Yes, sir. Sounds like he climaxes, though.
Oh, shit!
Now, listen. He is naked.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, see? I think he went right there.
Man, he's dick down on the concrete, too.
He's butt naked. And all these fucking cops, only one of them has their gloves on.
Right.
And he's not even touching them. All these guys are bare-knuckled.
I did.
Fuck yeah. Dude, he's dick down on the concrete with a taser probe in his balls. Like, that can't feel good.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yes, they did. I promise you. Check the camera.
We all got cameras, bud.
No, it's not you. The people.
You had a civilian to stop your ass.
Stop your ass.
Got to the store, charged at me.
That's a good mustache.
It is.
Full naked.
I held that motherfucker's best I could, bro.
Some guy in fucking tore up Levi's and a high-vis shirt.
Yeah.
Stuff food, and then the manager went after me, went to run for the door, and I cut him off.
Does he not have a mustache either with that beard? He's got an Amish beard?
He's got an Amish beard.
Hell yeah, good for him.
Up, man. Look at his knuckles.
No, I didn't know those.
I need to go to the hospital. If you did, I promise you, man.
I hate people that just... This guy's just looking for a pat on the back right here.
Yeah, he is.
Hey, sir, you want your jacket? Yeah.
I hate people that try and... I understand doing good deeds. But there's no need to tackle and fight someone over some ribeyes. Like, do you own that fucking store?
Especially after the meat's already touched his dick. Do you really think Save-A-Lot wants it back?
Either two things gonna happen. I'm gonna suck your dick or you gonna give me them ribeyes back. I just don't get it sometimes, Rob
Yeah,
Dog.
just try hard.
Another thing that really upsets me. There's no need to get on this road. I fucking hate open carry. Like, people just... Certain instances it's okay, but people that just go into the fucking grocery store open carrying with the gun hanging... If you're not a police officer, you're going to be the first motherfucker that gets smoked when some shit goes down.
I thought you were talking about alcohol.
Fucking do that all you want. I couldn't give a shit less about that.
No, yeah.
We'll save it for some other time, because it just... People, every time I talk about guns, we get someone that writes and says, "Won't you quit being a fucking pussy about fucking guns?" I have guns. I've shot guns. I'll shoot people with my gun if I have to shoot people with my gun. I just think there needs to be more shit done about guns. Whatever. It's all right. We're going to save it.
You heard it.
We're going to save it for some other time. But I'm so excited to share with you guys this episode we got this week.
Yeah, what are we talking about?
And now, maybe or maybe not, a quick word from our pre-programmed dynamic insertion sponsors. Frosty the Snowman. We're talking about the United States Federal Witness Protection Program.
Spicy.
Let's dig into it. What do you think?
Sounds good.
It's called the Witness Security Program, or for short,
WITSEC.
they call it or witness security. And it is indeed ran by the United States Department of Justice, and it's operated by the US Marshals Service. There's so many things I learned about the Witness Protection Program that I didn't fucking know. It's such a taboo kind of government entity that they have going on right there. But there's a lot of cool stuff in here. So if you think this might not be your role, stay around. We'll slow your roll. Check this one out. It's going to be a fucking good one. It's designed to protect threatened witnesses before, during, and after trial. There's other states that have their own independent witness protection programs. California, Connecticut, Illinois, New York, Texas, and Washington, D.C.
Okay.
But it's not nearly as extensive as the Federal Witness Protection Program, or WITSEC. This is different than what, I guess, us coming from the corrections community. They have what they call protective custody. That's where you put all the child molesters in the same area so they don't get fucking stomped out in general population.
Right. Yeah.
This is a little bit different than that. This is where you are a witness to something, usually something that's going to get you killed if you give your testimony. You do wish to give your testimony, but you want to be protected. Then you enter into the Witness Protection Program. In the 1960s, there was a large-scale investigation because the mob was hot in the 1960s with the Kennedys and whatnot.
Hell yeah, they were. There
was a large-scale investigation into dealing with various mafias. Investigations were performed by the Organized Crime and Racketeering Section of the U.S. Department of Justice. And anytime you see someone getting charged with something and you see racketeering next to their name, just know that they're going away for a long fucking time. They don't stand a very good chance of beating that charge. This was led by the U.S. Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy and Gerald Schur. Not John F. Kennedy, but Robert F. Kennedy. The Witness Security Program was authorized as part of in an effort to... They were having problems getting people to talk, to testify against the mob, against the mafia.
Hell yeah.
So they had to do something, and Gerald Schur was kind of the father of all of this to get this thing rolling.
Nah, I wouldn't talk.
You stand, unless the only way you would talk is if they say, look, you're going away forever, dude. You're going to go away. What other, you'd be like, all right, I'll fucking talk. And they'll say, we'll give you 5 years and you get out and we'll protect you and your family for the rest of your life. We'll protect you. We'll give you a new identity. We'll send you someplace you've never even fucking heard of. We will protect you so you don't have to go away for the rest of your life. And then you might start squawking. That's
true.
And Gerald Schur, like I said, he was having a hard time getting people to testify against the mafia. And I have in my notes here, no fucking shit, but that's what Rob just said. He's like, no fucking shit. He was talking to the owner of a trucking company that... The owner of this trucking company was being held up and pretty much extorted by Johnny Sonny Franzese. And I think Franzese is that nasty, shitty box wine that old women drink. Then they scissor each other.
Oh, yeah.
Rob, you make me moister than an oyster when I drink this box wine. Get in here and eat my pussy, Rob Dog.
That's so gross.
Your little prickly mustache, Rob Dog. I heard you talking about the Florida man with no mustache, but I see your mustache, Rob Dog. Get in here.
That's so gross.
Bring me a roast beef sandwich with you, because I know you're going to be hungry when you're done eating this pussy.
What?
Oh, you're so good to me, Rob Dog. Oh, my teeth fell out, Rob Dog.
It's so gross.
That's disgusting.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard. And rest in peace to Johnny Sonny Franzese, because he died like 2 fucking days ago.
Okay.
He was like 104 or something like that. I saw on the news right after I was doing this research. But Gerald Schur was dealing with this trucking company owner, and he was being extorted by Sonny Franzese. Sonny Franzese demanded half the profits of his business. Just said, hey, yeah, give me a fucking truck and shit. Just fucking give it to me. And Franzese's men had vandalized his trucks and beaten him unconscious with baseball bats until he complied. And now the owner hoped that Schur could offer him a way out. But when Schur suggested testifying against Franzese, the witness responded, testify? He was, in a very precarious, he had a question there. Testify. He had a good reason to be incredulous, for Franzese, a member of one of the 5 families. And if you've never heard about the 5 families before, go ahead and look that up. They'll fucking kill you for even typing it into Google. They'll come kill you.
Very true.
The 5 families of the New York Mafia. Extorting a small business owner represented low-level crime. An associate wearing a wire would later record Franzese discussing the best way to commit murder. He would cover his fingertips with nail polish, wear a hairnet, and dismember the body so that he could run it through the garbage disposal.
Oh, wow.
So, to let you guys know, this guy is no one to be fucked with.
Yeah,
Mr. Franzese here. Attorney Schur told him he didn't have a choice to protect his trucking business. Schur was upset that he would not testify, but he certainly understood the conundrum. Schur knew all about the mob. They were at his bar. They were at his bar mitzvah when he was at his bar. They were at his bar mitzvah when he was younger. His father, and this is the attorney that was in charge of I guess this trial here. His father owned a garment business that had very dirty dealings with the mafia. You all right over there?
Yeah, I'm good. I clicked on the side button on accident and lost my spot.
Organized Crime Control Act of 1970. This is what it says. Within the law was the section Title V, Protected Facilities for Housing Government Witnesses, which outlines the basic tenets of what would become the Witness Security Program. It says that the Attorney General can provide for the protection of witness in, quote, whatever manner deemed most useful under the special circumstances of each case. So it pretty much tells the Marshal Service, you can do whatever you need to do in order to protect these people. You have an exorbitant amount of money that you can utilize to protect these people, and whatever it takes to make sure you can get them to trial safe and keep them safe, you can do whatever you need to do. And that's what was outlined in this Organized Crime Control Act of 1970. This law gave the Department of Justice wide latitude to accommodate what attorneys deemed necessary to protect witnesses. Although the law now provided for a program to protect witnesses, many details of the program and the day-to-day administration still had to be formulated. Sure, the attorney suggested that the Marshal Service protect, hide, and relocate witnesses and fund the program. Soon this program became known as WITSEC, an abbreviation of Witness Security. Nearly 15 years later, the powers of the Attorney General with respect to the Witness Security Program was expanded by the Comprehensive Crime Control Act of 1984. This new act provided for the protection of certain relatives and associates. The Comprehensive Crime Control Act of 1984 contains regulations and provides general information about the Witness Security Program, setting forth most of the current procedures by which a government attorney may apply for the services of the program in order to protect a witness from the dangers that may be related to the witness's testimony. So they had this thing outlined in 1970. Excuse me. They really changed it a lot in 1984. They made it a little more user-friendly for the marshals and gave them even more leeway to do whatever they needed to do. In my mind, when I think of WITSEC, I think they literally just drag you to some fucking cabin in this, like Breaking Bad. They just, when the cleaner came. And they had to hide Walter up in the snowy mountains. And I think about that's, in some instances, that does happen. But I guess my first face value here, I think that they just put you someplace miserable to be lonely for the rest of your life. And someone
That's so sad.
Someone like me, they would probably put me in a cabin with Hurricane Bob. And if you don't remember Hurricane Bob, he was from one of our past episodes. He was a guy from Florida that tried to fuck me inside of a bar when I was in high school. If you want to go check out that story. I don't recall what episode that was.
I don't either. It was a little while ago.
But Hurricane Bob had really stinky grass-stained white New Balances on. And he...
The dad shoes.
Wanted to fuck the shit out of me, okay? He wanted me. He wanted my hot body. At the time, I was about 190. I had a jaw. I had one chin. I could bench press a lot of weight. Probably could have bench pressed him above my head and ate him out, but that's not what I had in mind. I was not into that stuff. I was in a church, the Lord. And I know we always talk bad about churches and like Christianity on this show. My wife talked me into going to church this week, and whatever, it's a big, huge church, okay? But they did take, it just so happens the day I go, they're doing a sermon on tithing about giving 10% of your fucking paycheck to the church. So
eat shit.
I'm already like, nope. Nope. Suck my dick.
Never coming back.
Suck my motherfucking wiener. But they've done the series over the past few weeks. It's called the Generous, and the uppercase, bold, the US, the end of us, like us. And the pastor a few weeks ago said, I've had it on my heart. We have to do something for the public schools. Okay, the congregation responded, and they donated $40,000 for this charitable effort over these three weeks. The church went to all of the local schools and used the $40,000 to pay off all of the lunch debts for all of the kids at all of the surrounding school districts. I'm talking like 12 or 15 school districts. They said, give us the list of all of your kids that have negative lunch balances, and the church paid all that off, which I think there's a lot of better things they could have done with the money, but I feel like that was a really cool act by that church.
They didn't have to do it,
and I'm glad I got to be there and hear them share the story. And I was really conflicted during the entire sermon about the give God, and it says in the Bible, tithe, give 10%, but no one had a motherfucking paycheck when the Bible was written.
Exactly.
I'm sitting here thinking this shit, and the guy's like, he did this demonstration, like if you give 10% and you run out of money, he did it with Skittles. He's like, you give it a little bit in here, a little bit in here, car payment, house payment, and he's grabbing Skittles out little at a time. But he says, but then God will dump all the Skittles on you when you think you have nothing left. Like God's just going to bless you and dump all. He's going to pay all your bills for you.
Yeah, fucking right. I wish.
And I'm thinking, why do I have to give 10% of my money in order for God to bestow blessings upon me? Why can't I go to the battered women's shelter and tell them and put on the self-defense class? Why can't I go to the school and dress up as a fucking clown and make all the kids laugh? There's a lot of good things you can do to where God will say, all right, he's a good dude. Let's give him some blessings. Why does it have to be I give you 10% of my money? Because I promise, no, I've never really. I'm a pizza guy. Why there was no fucking pizza guys in whatever 2 BC, whenever Jesus was around or whatever.
Right.
So I don't get it about giving 10% of your paycheck.
Fuck, I already give my family 90% of it.
Yeah, that's.
You ain't cutting into my half, into my little chunk.
I think that God, if there is a God, I think he wants you to do good, but I don't think it necessarily means give me all your fucking money. I think there's a lot of good things you can do. There's doctors that are just giving their time in foreign countries right now to take care of kids. Why does it have to be, he'll give you blessings if you give him 10%. I don't think there's no hard line there. God's like, you were $8 short last week. Little Timmy is going to fucking die. He's got cancer. He's going to fucking die. I don't think it works like that, Rob Dog. I know you're like, it's all fucking bullshit, but I have a good heart, and I've had a heart that's been in church for most of my life, so it just made me think a lot about it. So Hurricane Bob, he tried to fuck me in a bathroom at a bar when I was in high school. At this time, he was uglier. He looked like Christopher Lloyd from Dennis the Menace.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember that's the only thing that he was just greasy. This motherfucker looked like he'd been chicken fried. He was nasty. But they actually, at the time, they made a concentrated effort to put you somewhere. No, I'm not saying at the time, sorry. Currently, like I said, we think that witness protection, they just put you up in the mountains somewhere.
Yeah, just chuck you somewhere random.
They make a concentrated effort to keep you in your comfort zone to a certain degree. And this certainly does vary from case to case. And one quote we have here, it says, if you're relocating a witness from New York City, you wouldn't send them to a town in Texas with a population of 70 people, says Gerald Schur. You'd try to relocate them to a place where they'd be comfortable, where you can get them employment and take care of their health needs, and of course, their first thing, which is safety. While the idea here is to hide you, they don't want to have to take care of your fucking ass for the rest of your life.
Makes sense.
And you are expected to contribute to your life again once they give you all of these new things. Since the program's inception, somewhere around 20,000 witnesses and their families have been relocated. And they do say, quote, No witness security program participant following program guidelines has ever been harmed or killed. There's been 30 people that have prematurely left the program on their own that have been murdered. But notice that little disclaimer in there. The Marshal Service is more than tight-lipped when it comes to discussing the inner workings of the Witness Protection Program. But the disclaimer I'm talking about, no participant following program guidelines has ever been harmed or killed in the Federal Witness Protection Program. So and it's serious shit, guys. Like, the Hells Angels, the Bloods, the Crips, the Mafia, these motherfuckers will kill you.
Oh, yeah.
I've been in prison. I've seen people get their heads crushed in for a ramen noodle. Not even a fucking not even the 12-pack my wife gets at the store.
Mm-hmm.
A pack of ramen, they will crush your face through the goddamn concrete.
Isn't that so fucking crazy to think about? Like, it's so weird.
Over soup.
Some stupid shit.
Dad come at me tonight and said, I'm going to need some of that money back you've borrowed over the past 32 years. I would take an L. Like, he would just, I just had to lay there and let him step on me. These fucking people are killing over ramen noodles. Ramen noodles, like we call them in Ohio.
Yeah.
I think it's pronounced ramen, but in Ohio it's ramen.
I say ramen.
Ramen. Ramen. Ramen noodles. Okay, there is a laundry list of reasons why people would enter the WITSEC program. And I didn't write all of them down because as far as your imagination can take you, people have entered the federal. Mm-hmm. But mostly drugs, and money is how it goes. The program has come a long way. There were early mistakes by the program in the 1970s and 1980s where they would relocate these families and they wouldn't give them the proper documents to prove their new identities.
Oh, yeah, way to go.
And they would give the people attention-grabbing names like T. Kennedy and John Philip Sousa. It sounds like there's some dickheads like you and me. Okay, wait. I'm going to name this one Beavis. John Philip Sousa. Aren't you a fucking tuba player? We had a fucking music teacher in school that had a mustache, the bushiest mustache you've ever seen on a woman. She was obsessed with John Philip Sousa.
Yeah.
This woman wore pants up past her belly button, slightly below her flat nipples.
Feathered mullet.
And if you said John Philip Sousa, she would... Her mustache would curl and she would come in her black trousers.
Fill her boxers full of pudding.
Yeah, you would. Some of that some of that woman pudding.
Yeah.
Some of that wooden pudding.
It's tapioca from coming out of her.
I think
Lumpy.
What a good rhyming word I just made. You really get a chick going when she puts a bunch of that woman pudding in her panties.
Woman pudding. Ugh.
Oh, man. Sorry, Rob. He's got a really bad sinus infection right now.
Yeah, I'm fighting it.
In one case, the WITSEC program, informed a veterinarian that a family's dog's identity could not be revealed because it was in the Witness Protection Program.
Nice.
Since the program's inception, it has expanded beyond the mafia to include former members of motorcycle gangs and street gangs, collaborators of the Oklahoma City bombing, and even several people the U.S. government considers known or suspected terrorists.
Yeah, I don't think we should be...
No, but we are, and if you go back, and it says this here, there's a clickable link in here. Just a few years back, the government came out and said, we know there's a few of these terrorists that are in the Witness Protection Program, but all of a sudden, we can't fucking find these guys. So there's terrorists, there's Al-Qaeda, 9/11 related terrorists that are in WITSEC that they can't find right now. They're just gone.
Well.
Okay. And we're worried about what happened to Jeff Epstein and the fucking and he got shit like this going on. Okay. Now we got Sammy the Bull Gravano, a former Gambino hitman whose testimony helped bring down John Gotti. He famously underwent facial plastic surgery when he went into the Witness Protection Program. However, liposuction and a nose job left him looking little changed, and he eventually stopped trying to hide his identity.
Yeah, I just would have had my face taken off at that point. Fuck with John Gotti. You
John
might as well
Gotti.
just peel my face off,
I feel
buddy.
like the best thing you could do for me right now is give me a fucking nose job.
If I was a doctor, I'd be like, sir, if you just go back to wherever you came from, they're going to give you a free nose job with a 9 caliber handgun. They're going to shoot you in the fucking face, and it's going to rearrange everything on there. You're not going to be able to recognize it all. From the moment, and this is where the research got fun for me. This is where it started to get very involved.
Okay.
From the second that you decide, hey, I need protection, I need the U.S. Marshals, I need WITSEC, I need to enter the Witness Protection Program. You are really, in order to get to that point, you are really, really going to need some fucking testimony that they want. Putting up El Chapo, putting up John Gotti, whoever it is, you got to have some shit that they want, and you're going to put up someone that's got some weight to them. Or you're going to take down a whole criminal ring, something they've been working on for a long time. You, the criminal, because most of the time, 95% of the time, people going into WITSEC are criminals.
Yeah, of course.
You are vetted. You are, it's almost like a background check. And obviously, a criminal is not going to pass a background check, but they do check to see if you have any active drug addictions, if you have a history of suicide, if you pose an extreme risk of violence to yourself or the people you're moving with, or if you are a risk to the community that you're moving to. You know, there's a little bit more about that later. You're not going to know. So if Rob Dog is in jail and you say, I need protection, your family, in some instances, is not going to know that you've decided to enter yourself and your loved ones in the Witness Protection Program. These motherfuckers are just going to show up at your house and say, it's going to be like the beginning of Old School.
Right.
Where they pull up in the van, like, get the fucking van. And that's exactly how they're going to pick you up. And
Shut the fuck up and get in.
It's going to be scary. It's going to be something you've never experienced in your entire life. Oftentimes, the person that's entering the Witness Protection Program is more than likely already in custody. So the marshals are going to swoop in on your loved ones, whomever is going with you, and they aren't necessarily going to know that you've made the decision to enter the family into the WITSEC. And my worst fear is being on the shitter and absorbing. So I see these videos online of soldiers sitting on the toilet and someone throwing in a flashbang. And I always worry about someone, honestly, my worst fear is just to be sitting on the toilet and realize it's not a toilet, it's my uncle's dick again. That's my biggest fear. But I always worry about just a flashbang rolling underneath the stall door.
But instead of a flashbang, it's me with a camera.
It's me with a dick. Yeah. Oh, man. But yeah, that's aside from my worst fear, sitting on my uncle's dick again, it's a flashbang coming underneath the stall door. Your parents, your spouse, your children, your siblings are all, if it goes that far, in some instances, they'll move all of these people, but most of the time it's just going to be your wife or your husband and your wife and your children. They're going to be taken away to an orientation center. There are varying stories where the marshals give the family a heads up, but there are stories as well where someone will go to check on the family because they haven't heard from them, or a group of people go to kill them, and there is food still simmering on the stove, and the family is just gone. Like some fucking left behind Jesus shit. Into the world apocalypse. So literally, they will show up and take you, and you cannot finish the act. If you have one sock on, you're leaving with one motherfucking sock. Most of the time, I don't know. No one knows the percentage. But sometimes there's a process before it. When given notice by the WITSEC, you're allowed to have 7 suitcases. You're not allowed to have anything with your name on it. You're not allowed to have fucking yearbooks. You're not allowed to have jerseys with your last name on it. You're not allowed to have any paperwork that identifies you as Rob Diggity Dangle Dog. Can a bar of soap be patriotic? Well, of course it can. That is why we're talking about Duke Cannon Supply Company. It doesn't get out a little flag and wave it around, but consider this. Duke Cannon's superior quality grooming goods for hard-working men are tested by soldiers, not I wanted that boy bands.
They partner with active duty military to develop new ideas and review products. Anything that doesn't meet the high standards of soldiers does not happen. And just let me say, the Duke Cannon Supply Company did send free samples of their products to Rob and I. I personally am very, very happy about the solid colognes, which is a complete deal breaker for me. They also got beer and bourbon boxes of big-ass bricks of soap. I mean, these things of soap, they're massive. They're beautiful. They're absolutely incredible. The solid clones, you're looking at around $20 to $25 each. These huge boxes of soap you can get for around $25. They've got the big-ass beer soap made with fresh squeezed douchets and IPAs. They've got the big American bourbon soap made with Buffalo Trace, number 2 oak barrel scented bricks. And they've also got the big-ass beer soap made by Old Milwaukee Premium Lager. So there's lots of good stuff you guys can check out at Duke Cannon. You just go to DukeCannon.com. That's DukeKennnon.com. You're going to use the promo code BROHIO, BROHIO. You're going to get 15% off your entire order. Free shipping with orders over $35. There's a range of Duke Cannon men's premium products that are also available at your local Target store. But the biggest thing, guys, the biggest thing, Duke Cannon is committed to giving back to the men and women serving our country. That's why 5% of net profits are donated to causes benefiting veterans and active duty military. So when you're using Duke Cannon's big-ass brick of soap, don't be surprised if you start humming the national anthem. And just like a bald eagle, guys, I'm flying out of here. But use the promo code BROHIO for 15% off your order at DukeCannon.com. Big, beautiful soaps and clothes. It smells wonderful. You are now Corncob Bob. You are no longer Rob Diggity Dangledob. Or whatever you want to fucking be.
I'd go with that alias.
Oh, Rob Dog, are you leaving me again? Oh, I wasn't done with you. Just got my teeth back in. You're really starting to fly me to the moon right there, Rob Dog.
That's fucking
I
disgusting.
know it is. You like it, though.
Yeah, I do.
They have, in this orientation center, intrigued me very much. They have a center near Washington, D.C., where the family will be temporarily housed while their loved ones go through the process of testifying. They take you in a van with blacked out windows and blacked out curtains, and you can't see a fucking thing, and they drive you to this orientation center.
That's fun. I like that.
In 1988, the Marshals set up this clearinghouse to keep the people during the court proceedings. The WITSEC Safe Site and Orientation Center. So that's what this place is officially called by the government. The WITSEC Safe Site and Orientation Center. So what do I do with my wandering mind? I hop on Google Maps and I type in WITSEC Safe, and when I get to Safe, it self-populates. It goes to Safe Site and Orientation Center.
Mm-hmm.
So then I hit enter, and it takes me down to the search results on Google Maps. Do you see this?
I do.
It said, read it to him.
It says, no results found. Try searching for something else or in a different area.
Yeah, so it's self-populated. And I know every time I talk about weird shit happened to me on the internet, we get a review and it says, this fat fuck says he tried to fucking he was getting his dick sucked by a pilgrim on the dark web and he's such a fucking idiot. I have the screenshot right here of me attempting it. There it is.
Yeah, I see, you can see the search bar.
So I'm not fucking lying. Once you are in at this point. You can leave WITSEC anytime you would like, but once you are in witness protection, you are in that motherfucker. They offer a mail forwarding service that allows for letters from close to loved ones. So you may get the opportunity to tell your mom and dad goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
They do offer an outlet for you to exchange snail mail with your loved ones from your past life. But all of these letters must be turned over to the Federal Marshal Service as soon as you're done reading them. There is a phone call system set up where you can exchange intermittent short phone calls with your loved ones from your past life. These phone calls are completely monitored all the time. And you're also given a 24-hour emergency line just in case the off chance you were in Fargo, motherfucking wherever, and you're at the grocery store and Mr. Gotti himself wanders up in the flower aisle and sees you and you have a number
that you can call, because there's only going to be, and this fucking is crazy, there's only going to be 3 to 4 government officials in the entire world that are aware of who you used to be. You know, there's only 3 or 4 people that knows who, you know, I was in my prior life, or knows anything about your file. You have one liaison, one contact person from the Marshal Service. I think, I don't remember what they call them. It's fucking whatever. It doesn't matter. But you have one point of contact, okay, and that's kind of the person that gets you into your new town, gets you going, gets you a job. They have to do a lot of stuff. But in this witness protection program, you may get taken away before, if it's dangerous enough, they will take you away from wherever the trial is before the trial is even done. But then they may have to bring you back in, and you may have to testify behind a black screen. But when they do bring you back in from Fargo, where the fuck ever, to wherever the I assume Washington, D.C. to testify, they've been known to bring people in via mail trucks, fishing boats, and helicopters. There's a lot of different
Fishing boats.
Did you boys order some tuna? I've got some damning testimony for you right now.
The WITSEC Safe Site and Orientation Center, the one you can't find on Google Maps, can house up to 6 families at a time. Visitors are driven there in vehicles with blacked-out windows and locked in separate rooms to ensure they don't see one another. I didn't know this. The Federal Marshal Service have their own goddamn airport there in Washington, D.C.
Huh.
They're brought into the facility in a garage. They never see anything going in or coming out. They stay in furnished apartments. They can go outside, but there's walls where they can't see anything beyond where they're at when they go outside, when they're at the orientation center. There's rigorous training given to the children so that whenever little Tommy gets to his new town, they say, "What's your name, Tommy?" And he goes, I'm Tommy Tell on you." And they're like, "Oh, no." They change your name to Tommy Thompson. And they give these kids this rigorous training to fucking program these kids for their new name.
That would be so hard.
Practice writing your new name, practice saying your new name. And dude, let me tell you something. From all the stuff we've researched before, the MK Ultra and the Project Monarch and all this stuff, I promise you, it's not just a kid sitting down like, okay, write your name 10 times.
Yeah, exactly.
There's some kind of weird stuff going on to reprogram the minds of these people to get them. It would be a perfect cover-up for whatever they want to do with it.
True.
You know, there's so much stuff that okay, they say they're entering the witness protection program, but what's really happening there is they're taking these people and reprogramming their minds and using them as these government-killing Manchurian candidates. I'm fucking going.
That's fun.
I'm going down we should just make up a conspiracy theory right now.
We should do that one time and just try to pass something off as real.
It would be perfect, though.
It really would.
It would work perfectly. They give them a new family tree all the way up to brand new grandparents. They do let you pick your own last name, for what I understand, but it has to be ethnically compatible. And for me, I would undoubtedly be Nicolicious Timberlake. There's also a note in there that you can't use a famous person's last name, or you can't use a famous person's name. So I would be shit out of luck being Nicolicious Timberlake. And then I was thinking about this for a little bit, and I said I would want to be. They let you keep your first name, which is kind of weird to me.
That is weird.
But they do let you keep your first name if you want to. And they swayed you towards having a last name that has the same first letter as your old last name. So undoubtedly, I would be Nicholas Anderson. That's what my name would get changed to in witness protection.
I'd probably be Smith.
Yeah, Rob Smith. Oh, find that motherfucker on Facebook.
Yeah, good luck.
And I was thinking, I said, I would be Nicholas Hansen, because I was a really big Hansen fan growing up. And I had this dream one time that I was in Hansen, but they would never let me go on the stage, and they called me Fudge.
Fudge Hansen?
Fudge Hansen, yeah.
You had all the bass lines?
No, this is a real dream I had when I was a kid, okay? This is after my cousin and my brother were done beating the shit out of me and
You just wanted to be in Hansen?
cramming stuff in my belly button.
Why can't we just be like Hansen?
I wanted, yeah. I was the fourth brother in Hanson, and they called me Fudge. And they called me Fudge because I was a fat fuck. I was porky. I was really porky, so they gave me the nickname Fudge. And right before I went to bed, my brother and my cousin, the same one that was talking about pissing out the window, they were beating the shit out of me. They were 10 years older than me, and I had fucking like little wrestling men. And they tried to shove one inside my belly button to see how, like, because I was fat, I was fat and chunky. Yeah, the internet started working. I have no idea.
Finally.
But, so I tried myself to sleep.
I just want to be in a family where my brothers don't try and cram toys in my fucking belly button.
And there I am. I wake up. I'm at the concert. I'm getting ready to go on the stage. I'm playing the fucking bongos for
Fudge
Hanson.
Hanson over here.
And then Taylor walks up. He says, "No, Ruff. No, Fudge. Fall back. Fall back,
Fudge.
you fat little fuck." And I'm not going to hold this against them. But I do have an alter ego, Fudge Hanson. I think that our podcast is big enough and they've fallen off the map enough. We could get the message to them about Fudge Hanson. I think we could do it.
I think we could too.
But I've gotten a lot fatter since then. I was porky then, I thinned out, and then I got fat again. It's like life's coming full circle. Still can't put my dick in my own butt like I could back then.
So would you still be Fudge?
I'd probably be chocolate fudge. Yeah, chunky fudge.
Vanilla Fudge.
I'd be the most delicious sounding ice cream you've ever heard in your entire life. Be chocolate mountain fudge.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah. But, you, in the Witness Protection Program, your name is legally changed to whatever. You're not just assuming a fake alias. They legit file the paperwork to change your fucking name. If trouble happens to follow, the site can, and this is the orientation site, if trouble follows you to the orientation site, it can withstand bomb blasts. Jesus Christ. They also have all kinds of psychological counseling available for you, and within 2 weeks, you're shown a video of the new location of where you're going to. So there's lots of, they give you the options, They let you think about it. Try to put you someplace you might want to go. It sounds like someone's upstairs taking a big old fucking shower right now, which always happens when we record.
Every single time
we record before 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So let's pause for 1 minuto.
Sure.
Here. Okay, we're back from the bath. Rob and I took a bath together.
It was glorious.
He's like, "I bet you put this in your mouth, it won't go off." I said, "I bet I can make it go off." Queer. And we finished, and we were done, and it was really quick. And I touched on this, I touched on this earlier.
Well, that too.
In 1995, in Portland, Police Chief Michael Chitwood complained that Portland, Maine, okay, so it doesn't matter what you do in Portland, Maine. This is Portland, Oregon, that would be different. You can do whatever the fuck you want in Portland, Maine. Drop off all the trash. But he said Portland, Maine had become a dumping ground for criminals in the program because we said before, 95% of the people that enter the program are felons. They're cons. Local law enforcement is not informed when a criminal has been dropped off in their territory and often fear they can bring an entire network of illegal activity into an area.
If they're dumping all these fuckers into one place, then there's no doubt they could be.
Yeah, dude. I mean, for instance, everyone's talking about Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
Tekashi. I don't even know what the fuck I don't know what. I put the poop in the bag. I put the poop in the bag.
I just know he looks like a Skittle.
He does. He does look like a Skittle. He's kind of cute.
One of those sour rainbow candies.
I like to dress up in drag. But Tekashi 6ix9ine, he's in prison right now. That guy should be doing life in prison for the things that he's done.
Uh-huh.
But he's rolling over. He's
snitching.
He's telling on people. He's narking. So the media is saying that he is undoubtedly going to need witness protection program.
Oh, yeah.
Because he is fucking diming out the Trey Gangsta Bloods. The Trey Gangsta Bloods are going to cut his fucking tongue out and make him lick his own butthole with it.
You may like it, though.
If I could take my own tongue off and lick my own butthole, I undoubtedly would try it, right?
I'd try it, yeah.
We would all try it. We would all try something like that. But I think if you cut your tongue off, you die. You will bleed out and die. So they're taking guys like Tekashi 6ix9ine, who was a fucking heavy hitter in the Trey Gangsta Bloods, and they're dropping him off in Portland, Maine, places like that. He's going to bring bad people with him, and he's going to continue to make bad decisions when he goes to a place. Some people will learn the lesson, and they won't. I think there's a recidivism of about 15% in the programs. I'm not sure. I can't remember off the top of my head. But that sucks for local law enforcement. They're getting people like this just dumped in their area, and they don't know anything. And they've been known to drop off pedophiles, murderers, all kinds of bad people. So think about that next time you're really, really wondering about your neighbor. You think he's got to be a diaper sniper for sure. He's got to
be diaper sniper.
You didn't ever call him that?
No, I've never heard of that before.
Yeah,
that's good.
He's got to be a diaper sniper. We in prison, we call them chomos or child molesters.
Yeah, chomos.
He's got to be a fucking chomo diaper sniper. And then you look him up, and there's nothing on him, but there could be a little backstory there about his time in the Witness Protection Program. Because they'll drop these guys off anywhere and not tell anyone, and they'll be there, and you'll not know who the fuck they are. Goddamn diaper snipers.
Man.
So then things really get rolling in the Witness Protection Program. They get sealed documents. Get your new Social Security card, your new birth certificate, and your new driver's license. And think about the emotions that would run through you when you crack that envelope open and take a look at all that shit. And you say,
fucking
oh
crazy.
My God.
Yeah. Could you like imagine if you lived in like Sacramento or something and they relocated you to the west side of Dayton? Like, I'd be like, fucking put me back in Sacramento.
Hey, where's your salad drive-thrus? Where's salad drive-thrus? We got about 45 of them little places you can drive through and get beer without getting out of your fucking car. I saw a meme on Facebook. A lot of major cities, and I thought about this while I was in Phoenix, they don't have carryouts, like where you can drive through.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, it is like, I've never thought about how beautiful these are. You drive into a garage. We have these all over in Dayton.
Yeah.
When you drive into this garage, you are lined.
It's just like a convenience store.
Your car is lined with
beverages,
sodas, and potato chips.
And beer.
And beer.
Yeah.
And then someone walks up and says, what can I get you? And you say, give me a motherfucking cream soda and some of them fat-ass salt and vinegar chips. The big crunchy ones, not those pussy-ass Lay's ones.
Or if you're a pretentious piece of shit like me, you sit up there and you hold the line up because you can't decide what fucking beer you want.
Come back in about 5 minutes. But we have these drive-thrus where you can get this stuff.
It's crazy.
And a lot of major cities don't have these. When I'm in Phoenix, I've never observed one. I can't say that I've ever seen one.
And we got to be in the market for that now, man.
I know.
We got to start getting that ball rolling.
The Brohio drive-thru.
That'd be so dope.
I did have a dream last night. There was I was driving past a place today and I had a dream. It's the old bowling alley in downtown Dayton, or on Kiowee.
Oh, yeah.
And this place is ran the fuck down.
Marion Lanes?
But it says, there's on the sign it says, for sale, trade, or barter. And I was like, what if we just bought that and turned it into Brohio World?
Brohio World.
You can ride elephants. There's one of those the kids can ride elephants, and there's clowns, and there's an area in the back where there's just a male ass hanging out of the wall, and you can just walk up and fuck it.
Put your face in it.
Oh, how do you keep an eye on the kids? I'm right there and fuck that butt.
There's a scratch and sniff sign above it.
I'm going to go back there and pound that fudge. Sucks.
Man, that'd be fun. Well, not pounding the fudge, but
Hey,
not fucking a random guy's ass, but
on.
that might be fun, but...
And there's one thing that the world has taught the bros of Brohio. As long as you keep your socks on, you can do whatever you want with another guy.
Man, we need to turn that into Brohio World. That'd be so dope.
Keep your motherfucking socks on, bro.
Yeah.
Brohio World. Elephants and butt fucking.
Have the cream spot section.
Welcome to we need someone really creepy.
Yeah.
Someone that looks like the leprechaun from Leprechaun to run the cream spot.
You just walk in, it's just a bunch of dudes jerking off on the floor.
I think it already has one of those over there.
It does.
It used to.
Yeah.
Oh, God. So I would think there would be a serious flood of emotions when you open up this new envelope and see your new name and whatnot. The program also works with doctors and school administrators to transfer medical records and report cards. Sure, the creator of the program recounts that he refused several requests to improve a child's grades whenever they were transferred to the Witness Protection Program.
Huh.
Yeah. U.S. Marshals provide security to make sure the witnesses survive the witness stand, but once testimony is over, you're kind of fooked at that point. They kind of help you, but it's seriously the level of protection drastically falls off once you're done giving your testimony.
You got to fend for yourself. It's like you got the asshole parents who turn 18, kick your ass out the door, and like, fucking, here you go, man.
But I feel like that's when you would need their protection most.
Yeah.
When you're on the stand, you're like, oh, Whitey Johnson pulled the trigger at that raid. And the Hells Angels are all coming after you after that.
Mm-hmm.
And the Witness Protection Program's like, thank you so much for your testimony. Whitey Johnson is going to prison for the rest of his life. And it's thanks to you. You enjoy your life in Portland, Maine. There's a Brohio World opening up. We heard you can fuck a live man butt. You can fuck a butt pussy. And there's nothing they can do to you. It just hangs out of the wall. You walk up, you grab it with both hands, and you fuck the poop out of it.
I hope it has like a good placard around it, so it looks like it looks really like nice and presentable.
I hope it has handles above it, like in my van.
Oh yes,
really get into that thing.
Handles on each side.
Oh, Jesus,
punch my microphone. I'm getting excited about this idea.
It's got some 2005 Dodge Caravan door handles on, like. I call it the oh shit handle.
That's what I call it, the oh shit handle. Yeah.
I don't even know what it's called.
I don't either.
Oh, man. Imagine being the guy that has to lay there, though. I mean, obviously, you and I would have to do it the first few months to build up the popularity.
Right, until we got more volunteers, but...
Volunteer.
I saw your ad on Craigslist.
I'm here to be the butt.
I'm here to be the butt. Oh, we do casting couch.
Are you guys hired for a new butt?
I don't recall in the one ad that you were supposed to wear assless chaps. You care to explain that, Dwayne?
Well, I've been to Brohio World, and I never knew what I wanted to do with my life until the first time I came in here. And I went home and I squatted over a mirror, and I was like, you know what, Jerry, Your turd cutter is perfect for Brohio World. It's nice and taut. I put that old beer in my butt.
Oh, I fucking hate it, dude. This is never coming true. No one is going to give us a loan. You realize that, right? You wrecked my boat, you fucking goons.
Man, some of the shit that I see around here, I feel like we have to be able to get a loan.
Yeah.
It fit right in with that town.
Yeah. Whoa, it says here you need $1.7 million for your children's braces. Do you care to elaborate on that one? Give me the fucking money. Oh, well, like we said, the U.S. Marshals, they provide the security up until the trial's over that, and then you're kind of fucking, you're stuck. When designing the program, Schur decided against a constant presence of guards. The cost was a serious factor, but with the assassination of President Kennedy, a recent memory, anonymity seemed the safer bet. Quote, we weren't dealing with sophisticated KGB spies, Schur tells Early. We were dealing with mainly New York metropolitan area mobsters, and some of them had never stepped outside the city. Some of America's most notorious criminals currently commute to work from small houses in any town USA that the U.S. government helped them afford. As some 95% of WITSEC witnesses are criminals, according to Schur, the Witness Protection Program also has a parallel system for prisoners. And you're going to get a lot of good treatment in the prison one. It's said that some of these guys get access to lobster tail and steak at the commissary in this Witness Protection Program in the prison. They go on to talk about the L.A. crime boss, Jimmy the Weasel Frantiano. He manipulated the Witness Protection Program. He got a fucking facelift, and he got a tit job for his wife.
Yes.
What he did is he would assume a new identity, and then he would cram these credit cards up to the fucking moon. And then he would go to WITSEC and say, oh, I've been spotted. I need to be moved again, and I need a new name. So they give him a new alias. They'd wipe out his debt. They would move him. He would go to the next city, rack the motherfucking credit cards up, go back to the WITSEC and say, oh, I've done it again. And he got a lot out of him doing that. He went through a lot of money and got a lot of debt wiped out doing that shit. Smart guy.
That's genius.
But they did phase that out after he abused all that shit. So there's kind of the way it works now, they monitor your credit, and you can't have any serious debt when you're going into the program, too. I think that's one of the prerequisites. All criminals have poor fucking credit scores, I would have to
Right.
imagine, so no one gets into it anymore.
Yeah.
And the program is really troublesome for people that work in the Federal Marshals.
Oh, God, I can imagine that fucking headache.
The whole entire time, you want to be a Federal Marshal. You want to be the cop. You want to be the guy that kicks in the door, takes down the bad guy that's been selling marijuana to all the kids in the neighborhood. You finally fucking made it. Then they set you down and say, you're doing the Witness Protection Program. You're thinking, oh, this is going to be fucking sweet. You're going to Kroger and picking up tampons and fucking sugar because your entire job is to take care of these people. And I want to tell you, there is nothing that can reduce a cop more than having to cater to a criminal. And this would drive someone like this wild. I remember when I worked in the prison, there would be guys I fucking hated, and it would be our job to give them ice every day when it was really hot out.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, it pained me to do anything for these guys that were fucking assholes all the time. So part of it, you would have to take the ice and you would have to break it apart. And when I get to their cell, I would take my nightstick out with blood, poop, just fucking hair, dirt. Everything has been on this billy club, this nightstick, a PR-24. And I would use the PR-24 to break the ice apart, and they would watch me do it, and they would just howl, dude. They would get so mad watching me do that because they knew everything that touched that stick.
Yeah.
And they would get so mad watching me do that, but I'm just like, breaking the ice. Like, oh, it's a fucking hot one out there today, isn't it? Just breaking the ice. Tell them to fucking shove it up their... Never mind. Shove it up their buttholes. When the first mobster informant testified before Congress on the methods of the mafia in 1963, it provoked a sensation. Law enforcement's efforts culminated in the 1985 Mafia Commission trial that incarcerated the heads of New York's 5 major mafia families and several other mob figures. Today, the mob is generally considered a shadow of what it once was, and it's much of it has to do with the Witness Protection Program. But it's still very much alive to this day. It continues to be used in cases involving the drug cartels, various gangs, and even international terrorism. Several former drug kingpins have joined WITSEC after putting rivals and allies in prison. An Egyptian American who told his story to the Kansas City Star testified this guy narked on some people that were involved in the 93 World Trade Center attacks. This guy got relocated. Then he became known as the Kansas City Chiefs Helmet Man, and he was always on fucking TV because he's just had this giant Chiefs helmet, and they always put him on TV. And the WITSEC is like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you being a fucking retard?
Just
right
rub
now?
it in everybody's face.
Yes. And there's a lot of modern challenges now between social media and in the mob, there's a hierarchy. You got to talk to a guy to get to a guy that can get to the guy, right? Now we have different terrorist cells and gangs. So you have the Bloods gang, but not all Bloods get along. You have different sets of Bloods. You have the Trey gangsta Bloods. You have the Hilltop Bottom Bloods. You have the Short End Bloods. You have the L.A. Crips. You have the L.A. Bloods. You have Cincinnati Bloods who don't get along with the Columbus Bloods. But then there's parts of Columbus that don't get along with the other parts of Columbus Bloods. But that makes it harder because you have all of these little cells. You have more to worry about. Whereas the Mafia, there's a guy to get to the guy to get to the guy. And then that's it. Whereas the Bloods, it's infinite. The Crips, the Gangster Disciples, your Hells Angels, they're everywhere, dude. They're not just based out of New York City or Boston. They're everywhere. So it complicates things a little bit because a guy from New York City can put in a call to a guy in L.A. because there is crime family syndicates in L.A. that are mafia related, and they say we're looking for a guy, and he got relocated, and it would be nothing for them to take a little drive to Yuma, Arizona from Los Angeles to find Corn Cob Bob to fucking kill him. So it kind of complicates things for the Witness Protection Program.
R.I.P. Corn Cob Bob.
know. And you have some shitheads related to the Witness Protection Program. In 1981, Charles Pearson, a resident of Rio Rancho, New Mexico, killed his wife and then went on a crime spree. This is while he was actively in the Witness Protection Program. He robbed banks and convenience stores, he took hostages and killed them. When law enforcement discovered Pearson's past, they were furious, obviously. Pearson was an alias for Marion Pruitt, and he had entered the Witness Protection Program after testifying against a high-ranking criminal about the murder of his cellmate. Oh, man. Following standard policy, officials at WITSEC did not alert law enforcement officials to the presence of a former criminal and protected witness, nor did they reveal Pruitt's identity to local sheriffs after the discovery of Pruitt's wife's body. In defending the program, leaders of WITSEC pointed out, among other exonerating factors, that Pruitt would have been paroled even without entering the program.
Dang.
So they said that, this shit would have fucking happened regardless.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, oh, man. And then there's Thomas Leonhard. What a weird last name.
That's fucking stupid.
He was a divorced man who wasn't able to see his children. This is really fucked up. His children lived with their mother.
Okay.
And the mother and him were divorced.
Okay.
In 1967, he came home to find his children and his ex-wife had vanished. Leonhard eventually found out that his children and his ex-wife had to be taken away by federal agents and given new identities. His ex-wife's new husband was a mob informant and testified. And the moment he testified, the federal marshals swooped in and took his ex-wife, and his kids. And there was a monumental court proceedings that went on after this. He went 8 years without seeing his children because the Federal Witness Protection Program took the kids away.
That's so sad.
To this day, in split custody cases, both parents have to agree that the children can be relocated for witness protection. They can no longer do this where they take kids away and
that's crazy.
Shared parenting cases. And our last story here, this is from ABC News. This is about children recovering from the Witness Protection Program. And a lot of kids that are in the program have a hard time with, they grow up and they say, I don't want to be in the Witness Protection Program anymore. Mm-hmm. My mom, sucked a lot of dick and she needs protected, but I didn't suck that dick, so I need to get the fuck out of here. And They try and go back to their old life, and they go back to their old life. And when they get there, nothing works for them. They can't use their driver's license. They can't use, and they try and assume their old identity, and it completely fucking locks everything up for them. They can't do anything. It's like they're handcuffed. They can't use their old identity. They can't use their new identity. Their old identity doesn't exist. Their current identity isn't fucking real. So then they're just like a potato. You're not even real. You're just
they're a ghost
fucking dude. Jackie Taylor still remembers when her mother woke her up in the middle of the night and U.S. Marshals were telling their family they had to leave their home immediately. Quote, the Marshals were trying to hurry, and we were all crying, Taylor said. It was pretty scary. She was 7 years old at the time, and it was her and her family's introduction to the WITSEC. We were ushered into black vans, and I remember stopping and switching vans, and that's about all I remember, she said. She says her two siblings, and their mother were taken from their home in Cleveland and relocated to a motel next to a casino in Billings, Montana. Being in front of the motel today brings back a flood of emotions. It still just ticks me off looking at this place. So they pretty much took her to a hotel, and they dumped them there, and that was it. Like that, they were stuck in this shitty fucking hotel, and the WITSEC did them really dirty. Most of the more than 18,000 people in WITSEC are not witnesses to crimes, but actually family members of witnesses and some of their children. In Taylor's case, her father, Clarence Butch Crouch, Butch Crouch. Butch gets crotch. It's crotch, isn't it? It's Crouch. He was a vice president of one of the most infamous Hells Angels chapters in the country during the 1970s. Took a plea deal on a murder charge and turned state's evidence against his fellow bikers in the 1980s. He was called to testify at a U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee hearing. We pulled up and stopped. This is his testimony. He says, we pulled up and stopped. Machine gun opened up and started shooting. Crouch said during his testimony, hiding behind a screen. And I shot up the driveway and I hit somebody, which is more or less why I'm sitting here, because it turned out to be a 17-year-old kid.
Ouch.
After nearly 2 years of testifying, Crotch went to prison, and Taylor said she never saw her father ever again. After his release, he started a new life with a new name. Taylor and her family, still in Witness Protection Program, were left to pick up the pieces. Quote, I had nobody to talk to. We were completely cut off from all of our family in Cleveland, and now I didn't have them, and I had this new life that I had to adjust to. That was rough. I was suicidal quite a few times. I don't think children should be put on the program, period. I think they should either be put with family or almost they'd be better off in foster care. I really do believe that. And that is something that I'm realizing as we go through this, that it would probably be a lot better off. There's just to take someone away and hide them.
Yeah, especially when you don't even ask for it.
It's fucking traumatic for a kid, man.
Yeah, and especially being a kid. That's...
Prout, the individuals entering into the WITSEC program, their parents are in danger. The children are therefore in danger. The person interviewed, Michael Prout, he's the head of the WITSEC program, and he told this to Nightline. Prout also said he could not confirm nor deny anyone's existence in WITSEC, but he did say kids are better off in the program. We are actually the heroes that come in the night and save them from that bad spot. There are opportunities which we afford in the WITSEC that they could not be growing up in a terrorist organization or mafia or cartel. They have an opportunity to live. Taylor said the marshals gave her documents to support her new identity, with the exception of one of the most people take for granted. We were never issued birth certificates, she said.
Okay.
It's not part of the program, which I read that it is. I will never have a birth certificate. So when her WITSEC given passport was lost, Taylor said she had no way to prove her U.S. citizenship. Then one day she received a letter in the mail denying medical coverage for her children because she couldn't prove her citizenship. And I was on the phone all day to everyone I could think of. The governor, the lieutenant governor. I called the marshals a few times. I called everyone. She said after exhausting all options, she decided to essentially walk away from WITSEC and go public with her story, putting herself at possible risk. My children were suffering because of it. I had to do something. 5 years later, Taylor said she finally received a replacement passport from the marshals. Fucking 5 years.
Whew.
Afterwards, she returned to Cleveland and made amends with the Hells Angels chapter her father testified against. That's God, that takes some big old fucking nuts right there.
Yes, it does.
Her incredible story is now part of an upcoming documentary. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. So, that's what happens to a kid in WITSEC.
I don't like it.
I don't like it at all. But you narc on the Hells Angels, you deserve to die. That's no, man. I think it's
Are they still a thing?
Yeah, very much.
Are they?
Yeah. We should do an episode on I think it's 1%ers or whatever. They call them 1%ers because only 1% of motorcycle riders are in an active, violent motorcycle gang. And one of the this is crazy. When I was I'm at this point again, I don't remember if I've told this story before. My father has been in the car business for a very long time.
I thought you were about to say cartel.
No, not a cartel. He worked in a very suspect part of town, Drexel, okay?
Yeah.
And growing up, he did a lot of work for a motorcycle and outlaw motorcycle gang here in Ohio. I'm not going to say their name, but I already said their name, so do what you will with it. And there was one instance where I remember he was giving me a ride home. I want to say we were in his tow truck, and someone cut him off and got out with a weapon when he wasn't far from his building. I was very, very little, okay? And I do remember a guy, about as soon as my dad got out of the truck to have a confrontation with this guy that had cut him off, there was a guy in a black vest on a motorcycle behind us that said my dad's name and said, "Get back in the car." And then we left before I could see if anybody was killed or if what the fuck happened. but I know still to this day, if you look up this outlaw motorcycle game, they have a publication, an article, a magazine that goes around every year. I think they only put it out once a year. But if you open up this magazine, on page 1 of the Outlaws Motorcycle Club, their publication, and I know, things have changed. They might not be a criminal entity anymore. That's not for me to say. I don't know anything about motorcycle, about
culture,
the bylaws of motorcycle gangs. So I'm not trying to get myself in trouble here. They do a lot of stuff for the community. They do a lot of charitable stuff. I think they might have put away all the bad guys, and they have a big group of good guys now. That could be the case. But I do know when you open up this publication, this once per year publication, on page 1 is a giant ad, and it's for my father's car dealership inside page 1 of their magazine. So that's something, and I've reached out to them, not to them directly because I don't have a direct contact with any outlaw motorcycle gang, but I've reached out through my outlets, my avenues, and I tried to secure an interview with them through the podcast that will change your voice, it won't use your name. They said abso-fucking-lutely not. They could not have shut it down any quicker, with any more haste. They said, not a fucking snowball's chance in hell will I ever. And
Makes sense.
That's how those motorcycle gangs are.
Yeah, that's how you got to be.
Don't fucking talk, dude. They do not fucking talk. And I just said, just shoot the shit about whatever, girls doing crazy stuff in the clubhouse. He's like, there is no clubhouse. I already treaded where I shouldn't have treaded. And, I think the motorcycle gang bylaw is really, I think it's intriguing. I think it's cool. I think there's a lot of cool stories to be told, but there's a lot of cool stories that aren't going to be told. So,
yeah.
I respect what they got going on. I respect what they do. Some of the stuff they do has to fucking happen. They do a lot of good things. Some of them do a lot of bad things, but
sometimes you got to break a few kneecaps.
But some people need their fucking kneecaps broken. That's what it all chalks up to.
Yeah.
So, thanks for tuning in to the Witness Protection episode. We're gonna render this out.
Yeah.
Put it up on the internets. That's that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go stick my ass through a hole in the wall and see what happens.
Some van handles above it.
Yeah.
Come here, let me get a hold of them motherfucking van handles, motherfucker. I'm gonna motherfuck you.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, until next time, guys.
Tell them the good news.
I love you, and so does my asshole.